My neighbor came up to me and said, I think your car is spying on me, and I think your car may burst into a ball of flame, and driving EVs are really dangerous. And I wonder why people hate Tesla here in Taiwan. I'm a middle-aged dude who drives a Tesla in Taiwan, and judged from what I hear from people, and really some people are very skeptical about EVs, and some people are really resistant to newer ideas and newer changes, right? One day, one of my neighbor came up to me and she said that, I watched the news and they said the Tesla can spy on people, right? And they said that if the car is spying on people and your battery is going to die out just overnight. So if I take a walk around here, should I bypass your car? Should I avoid getting close to your car? Because this neighbor, I live in an enclosed alley, right? It's a dead end, and for safety, she likes to take a walk in the alley, and so that's why. And the other neighbor came up to me and said, I heard that Tesla battery will die out very soon. So all the money you save from switching from gas to electricity is going to be wasted. It doesn't make any sense. And I also heard that the EVs are very dangerous because I saw all the news, and the Teslas are crashing into construction sites, crashing into the walls, and they are dangerous, and sometimes they burst into flames. Really, some people really hate or skeptical about Tesla with a passion. And I think this is related to the media and probably people's attitude and their resistance to accept new things. Because I live in a neighborhood where there are a lot of elderly people. Well, I don't have a bias or opinions about people who are old. I'm middle-aged. But I think because these kind of people they watch a lot of news. You know, even Taiwan is a small country with only like 23 million of people. And guess what? We have 10 TV channels, over 10 TV channels running 24 hours. And the younger generation, they have their medium to get to know what the world is about, right? They have social media, they have mobile phone. So they're more like receptive to newer trends and new ideas. But the elderly people, they watch a lot of news. And the news is like, when they cater to the older generation, they tend to be very conservative, and they are always make the news very dramatic, right? So they will also say that Tesla is bad because they will capture all these news stories about Tesla combust into flames, Tesla drivers driving very irresponsibly when they're using autopilot or when they're using for self-driving. Well, actually, not for self-driving because it's not available here in Taiwan, but autopilot and enhanced autopilot. So they all receive this kind of information, so they're really biased. I mean, statistically speaking, the electric vehicles are less likely to combust into flames. I think from the data I read, the hybrid cars or even gas-powered cars, because they have flammable liquids in the car, so they are more likely to combust once there are accidents. But the news media don't think about that. They don't care about statistics. They want to find stories that are eye-catching, and they like to victimize newer concepts that are not widely accepted here in Taiwan. So if a gas car combusts into a ball of flame, it's not news. But when an EV or when a Tesla combusts, then it's the news. For example, if you look at the safety of driving, statistically speaking, conventional cars, the cars driven by people, actually the rates and the percentage and chance of accidents are much higher than cars driven with the assistance of computers, like a level 2 assistance. But when you see a car crashing in the road of a conventional car, it's not news. But when you see a Tesla crashing into the other vehicle, then it is news here. So they're really biased, and they like to exaggerate all these kind of accidents or events So people are really, I would say people are fearful. Some people are fearful and very skeptical about Tesla. And I'm at the age where when people tell you something that is against your opinion, against what you think is true, and then you don't argue with them. But I couldn't help but just think, for example, the Tesla Model Y was the best selling vehicles for last year and maybe the year before that as well. And based on what the news tells you, based on what the media tells you, the people who are buying Teslas are basically idiots, because if the cars are so dangerous, so expensive, and so not environmentally friendly, and these people are still buying them. That's what makes me wonder why people hate Tesla with a passion. And of course, there are some idiots, right? Here in Taiwan, they drive very irresponsibly, particularly when the first few years when Tesla were introduced to Taiwan. And some of the people who are very, I would say, eager to try out all the new technologies, and they are not warned that they need to pay attention, because basically right now, even for self-driving, it is still supervised. You still need to pay attention when the car is on the road. Even the computer is helping you to drive it. You are still 100% responsible for what happens when you are behind the wheel. So, of course, I could understand that at the beginning, people are more suspicious. But even after a few years, there are so many people buying Teslas here in Taiwan. But there are still die-hard skeptics who still question the validity and the reasoning of getting a Tesla or getting an EV. And talking about the longevity of the battery pack, yes, there's a chance that the battery can die out before much earlier than you imagined, and then it's going to cost you a lot of money to replace one. But statistically speaking, the battery should last more than that. If I remember correctly, just correct me if I'm wrong, I remember that Elon Musk said that the Tesla batteries are made to last to around at least like 1 million kilometers. They're designed to last long. And of course, there's some, if you check on YouTube, there are some YouTubers or testimonial from people who have driven Tesla vehicles for like 300,000 miles, 500,000 miles, 700,000 miles. So a lot of people are saying that the batteries are actually more endurable than the general public would imagine. And in the long run, as Tesla and other EVs are scaling up the business, and then overall the battery modules price is going to trend down, right? And I also heard that there's some third-party vendors who are working on just replacing part of the battery modules. And for example, maybe just certain module is broken down, or maybe the control system is broken down, and you don't need to replace the entire thing. So that could be an option, and more financially making much sense in the future. So I think overall in the future, batteries are not going to be your main concern if you are considering getting an EV or a Tesla. So what do you think about Tesla and in general about electric vehicles? Are you sitting on the fence to get one, or are you also hating Tesla with a passion? And what are the people saying around you? What's their opinion about Tesla or electric vehicles? Just share what you hear and share what you think. I think this is going to be an interesting discussion. Until then, I'll see you next time. My name is Basement. Bye.